we're gonna go ahead and get started. Make sure everyone's in here. Okay, so today we're gonna do reading again. So last class we did one passage at a time. We did one passage at a time. I think we only got through 2 passages, just because we spent some time answering questions and stuff. But today we're going to take 2 passages at a time. So you'll have 19 minutes to take the class, or not the class, the test. And you should get 2 passages done in that time. And then we'll go over the answers for those 2 passages and then do the next 2 passages. So hopefully we can get through a full test, and that way you can get some projected scores, kind of see what you would potentially get based off of which ones you got right and wrong. And then we'll go over the explanations for the ones that were most missed or that anyone has any questions on. So we'll kind of jump into it. There's not much to go over before that. So while you're taking this test, make sure you're indexing kind of while you're reading, jotting some notes down. Watch for those trap answers that we talked about on the first day, and I think we kind of recapped on our last class kind of what those are. Focus on your time management. You can keep referring to the stopwatch to see how you're doing. I like to look after you've completed the first passage, see what time you're at, see if you need to pick up your pace or you can slow down. So we're aiming for kind of 9 minutes and 30 seconds per passage. So keep that in mind. Other than that, don't really have much. We'll kind of just jump in, see where we're sitting. Any questions about what the plan is for today or about the reading test at all? Okay. So what we're going to do is the test starts on page 568. If you want to flip to that. It's in the red ACT. Hold on, I'll hold it up. Official ACT one, this one. So page 568. And then you're going to also be filling out the bubble sheet while we're doing that. And the bubble sheet is on page 540. And if you rip it when you're ripping it out, if it rips in half or whatever, there's another one right after it. So 540.
What book is it?
It's the red official ACT book. This one. Okay.
What page was it again?
568 is the test, and then the bubble sheet's page 540. So you can go ahead and rip the bubble sheet out so you can fill it out while you're looking at the questions and everything. I will give you a 5-minute warning and a 1-minute warning. So when you have 5 minutes left and 1 minute left. But yeah, we're looking for 9 minutes and 30 seconds per passage, so kind of keep that in mind. Someone new just joined, so I'm going to have to explain. Hudson, we're just going to take a practice test. So in your red, this ACT book, go to page 568, and we're going to take that practice test. And the bubble sheet's on page 540 if you want to rip it out quick. And then we'll get started. So 9 minutes and 30 seconds twice is 19 minutes, right? Am I right? Okay. So you'll have 19 minutes to take the first 2 passages, okay? So we'll just go in order, just do 1 and 2. Any other questions before we start? Okay, you have 19 minutes. Go ahead.
3 minutes left. One minute.
All right, time is up. Okay, how many people got through both passages in that time? Okay. How many checked after they got done with the first passage and saw what time they were at on that stopwatch? Okay, were we around that 9:30 mark? Okay. So if you didn't get done in that time, then your pace maybe just needs to be a little bit faster. So we'll kind of play around with that with the next two passages too. You can kind of see where you're sitting with those. We'll go over the answers. So number 1 is D, as in dog. 2 is J. 3 is C. 4 is H. 5 is B. 6 is F. 7 is A. 8 is J. And, 9 is A. Okay, so there's the answer for the first passage. 10 is G. 11 is A. 12 is G. 13 is A. Let's see, 14 is F. 15 is C. 16 is J. 17 is D. And 18 is F. Okay. So kind of take note of which ones you missed there. Any need repeated, or can you guys see them on the board at least? Okay, so let's take a look here. Okay, so how many missed number 1? Okay, how about number 2? Three. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. And 9. Okay, so it looks like when that, so it looks like in that first passage, there wasn't a single one that more than one person missed, so we won't go over any of the answers. You can always refer to the back of the book if you want to see why you got that one wrong, or you can always ask me after class, but we won't take time out of class to go over it. If just one person missed it, it was probably just a easy fix. Passage 2, how many missed number 10? 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. And 18. Okay, so kind of the same thing. Only one was missed by 2 people, which was 12. And the correct answer was G. So if you look back in the passage, let me see where it says it. Line 12 is where it starts. It says, by far the biggest market was in New York. Between New York and Albany, then that's where it says the question. Let me see if there's any other parts that point to it. No, I think just more where it says by far the biggest market was in New York. That's kind of what indicates that that's what the metropolis is. We'll see if they have on theirs. They said, oh yeah, that same line that I said. And it says it can also be reasonably inferred that New York was the metropolis. Wait, based off lines 17 through 20. Well, that's just the question. Yeah, they say that that's the correct answer based off of lines 12 and 13, where it talks about by far the biggest market was in New York. And then if you want further explanation, it also talks about why the other answer choices are wrong. So you can always go to that too. But since only 2 people missed it, I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do the next 2 passages. Kind of reflect on how the last one went. If you need to pick up speed, slow down, anything like that. Kind of do the same thing, look after this next passage and see if you're around that 9.5 minute mark. Any other questions? Okay, another 19 minutes. You can begin.
5 minutes left.
All right, time is up. Okay, raise your hand if you got through all the questions in that amount of time. Okay, well, the last last time. Alright, we'll go through the answers quick. 19 is C, 20 is G, 21 is B, 22 is H, 23 is D, 24 is G, 25 is A, 26 is G, 27 is A, 28 is G, 29 is A, 30 is H, 31 is B, 32 is H, 33 is A, 34 is F, 35 is C, 36 is J. Okay, so there are the answers for all 36 questions. Okay. How many missed number 19? Okay, how about 20? 21? 22? 23? 24? 25? 26? 27? 28? 29? 30? 31? 32? 33? 34? 35? And 36. Okay, so I think there were two that were missed by more than one person, so we'll go over those. Okay, 24 says it can most reasonably be inferred from the passage that the Metropolitan Cinema on Via de Del Corso was known for showing films that had been blank. So either dubbed only, subtitled only, both, or neither. So, let's see where it talks about that. I think it's right at the end of the, well, beginning of the fourth paragraph, I guess. It says there are still few options for those seeking to watch subtitled original language films on a movie at a movie house in Italy. So they're saying there's only few options to watch subtitled. Then it talks about how one cinema just closed. So that kind of indicates that the number of places available is declining to watch subtitled original language films. So the answer should be G, subtitled only, which was 24? Yeah, G. And then it goes to talk about, let me see, that they remained unhooked or whatever, or hooked on dubbing and stuff. But it doesn't make it sound like the options are anything to do with the dubbed. It's just talking about specifically subtitled original language films. Does that make sense? Okay. And the other one was number 33. Passage most strongly suggests that the study of the behavior of materials and the study of the social sciences are similar because they, and the correct answer was A, require analysis that span a wide range of scales. So it talks about, let's see. I know at the end of fifth paragraph. lines 56 through 61, it says, science has trouble dealing with such a span of scales. One might regard this difficulty as akin to that in the social sciences, where social behavior is governed by, you can read the rest, but it's saying it's akin, which is saying it's comparing it to social sciences. So that is why the best answer is A. Okay, quickly before we go on break, count up how many you got correct out of 36 or wrong. Then if you do that. And go to page 655. Wait, no. What test is this? Wait, no. 671. And what you'll do is you'll figure out how many you got. Okay, right. Oh, I have to tell you which ones weren't graded. Okay, for this practice test, 19 through 27 were like the ungraded questions. So if you got any missed out of those, disregard them. So you're counting how many you got correct out of those 27 that were graded. So not that third passage. Okay? So once you figure that out, go to page 671 and you'll go down, figure out how many you got right in that rating section out of 27. So if you got 25, then you move over to the left, that would have been a 33. Do you understand how to use that? Does that make sense? Okay. Or you can go down, just figure out and go over. So that'll kind of give you an idea of where you're sitting. Time management wise, there were still a lot of people who didn't get it completed in that amount of time. So just make sure you're taking practice tests and kind of getting an idea of, because you want to be able to get to all the questions when you go to take the test. So you might need to keep practicing and try and get just quicker at answering the questions, reading the passage, things like that. Any questions for me before we go on break? All right, Rakav will be in here for, I think, English.